Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be doing a review of the Canon M100. So if you want to know how this camera worked out for me, then just keep on watching. Before I begin, I did want to put a disclaimer out there. So I will be reviewing this camera from a vlogging and a YouTube standpoint. I won't be reviewing it from a techie standpoint. I definitely don't know all the different specifications and technical terms, so I just want to let you know that. And I'll also be reading from my paper here. I did write down some pros and cons, and I originally just wanted to wing this, but I didn't want to forget anything since it is a review, so that's what I'll be looking down at. So I'll first be starting off with the pros. So the first thing that I do like about this camera is that it's extremely user-friendly. So with the way that it's designed, it doesn't have a lot of the options that some higher DSLRs have. So with it, honestly, it was extremely easy to use. With a camera that I bought in the past, which was I think the T5i, honestly, when I got that, it was such a learning curve. I had to look inside the manual and just basically find out how to use this camera. However, with this camera, I was able to use it very easily. So in regards to the video quality, it is amazing. It has such sharp autofocus, and that was such a huge thing that I was looking for in a camera. And with another camera that I was using, it was another Canon camera. The autofocus was good, but the thing about it is if I was to show something up close, I found that sometimes it wouldn't focus back on me. It would just basically lag. So with this autofocus, it is honestly the best. So I'll just give you a little test here. So I'm able to go pretty close, and if I were to go back to myself, it focuses pretty fast, which is something that I like. And also there is no sound, so as you can see, you can't hear anything. So that's another really great point as well. And with this camera, you're able to film an HD video, so you're gonna get very good quality videos. So another thing that I like, and it honestly was a deal breaker in the other camera that I had, which was a Sony, was the battery life. So with this camera, it has a very great battery life. I'm able to film for about 2 hours plus, and then I have to charge my battery. So that is something that is very important to me, because if I'm filming, I want to be able to film straight without taking any big breaks in between. So I like that I'm able to film for a very long time. So another thing that I like as well is that this takes amazing pictures that are nice quality as well. And the thing about it is I do take pictures, not as much. I would say I use this mostly for filming, but for the pictures that I do take, the quality is very great. So another thing that I like about the design about this camera is that it's very compact. It's not too heavy at all. I do mostly use it when I'm filming with a tripod. However, I do sometimes use it for vlogging. Of course, if you have your arm up for a very long time, you are gonna feel it, but for the most part, it is very compact. For vlogging, I don't know if I would necessarily recommend this camera for vlogging, only because since it does have a lens that's popped out, you can of course change it. Then depending on where you're storing it, it might not be the best for like taking in and out of your purse. However, maybe something like the G7X would work a little bit better since it is flat and you wouldn't have to worry about a lens. So another thing that I do like about the design of this camera is that it has a flip up screen. So it's perfect for if I need to just see what's going on with what I'm filming. Before, I remember with other camera that I had, it didn't have a flip up screen. So that was honestly the worst thing ever, because sometimes I wouldn't be centered or it just would not be good. So I love having the flip up screen. And I also love that on the side is where you can put your memory card. So that's awesome, because whenever I'm filming, I do have it mounted on my tripod, and before, the camera that I had, the SD card was at the bottom, so I'd have to unmount it, put in my memory card, and then mount it back. With this, it's just on the side, so I can pop it in, pop it out, very easy. So another thing that I like is that this films really great in low light settings. I'm not necessarily saying that you should film when it's very dark, but it is good to know. For now in Canada, the time has changed, so it gets darker very quickly, whereas in the summer it was bright for a very long time, up to like 9 o'clock. So I'm happy to know that even if I am filming on those darker days, because of course winter, you know, it's not as sunny, I am able to film in low light settings, and I can adjust the lighting on the screen, which is really great as well. I can just press it because it is touchscreen, which is awesome as well. So another thing that's great is the price. It's not too expensive. I think I did get it on sale for Boxing Day. I can't remember, but I think I got it for about $500, which was a decent price for this camera. So now I'm just gonna move over to the cons, and basically it has to do with sound. So something that I don't like about this camera is that it kind of makes like a or a buzz kind of sound, or maybe not buzz, it's hard to explain it. I will make sure to insert a clip of the sound so you can get a better idea of it. Yeah, so basically it wasn't a deal breaker for me, but I was able to do a little bit of a fix around it, which was able to help lessen the sound that it was making to 50%. So I will insert a clip here so you can get I'll insert a clip so you can get a better idea of the sound. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. So like I was mentioning, I was just playing around with the settings, and basically with the tunerator I was able to change that setting and it reduced the problem to about 50%. So it is not as noticeable as before, and with my videos, since I add music over it, then I found that it wasn't such a big issue. And another thing that isn't as great with this camera is that it doesn't have an external mic jack. So that is pretty annoying, especially if you do want to use another source for your audio. However, I was watching another review on this camera and I found that that person was able to use a different option, and there are different things that you can use if you do want to use a different audio. I'm not exactly sure about it, but I heard that it is something that you can do. And I did get a question in regards to overheating with this camera, and for me personally that is not an issue at all. With the settings that I use, I am able to film for 2 hours plus, and then my camera dies and I have to charge my battery. However, I did hear if you are filming on a very high HD setting and if you are using 60 frames per second, then you're able to film for about 10 minutes, and then I'm guessing that it'll overheat. I can't speak on that. I did hear someone else talking about that, but for me personally that hasn't affected me at all. So that's it for my review today. I hope you found it to be helpful, and if there is something that I didn't cover, then you can leave some questions down below and I'll be sure to answer them. And that's it for today. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.